Switch my SSD for.
Hey guys, we're playing Ark Survival Evolved. We're on the Aberration map. Why do I keep calling it Arboration? I don't know. But we're playing with Sorcerer Von Croy tonight.
Yodel.
Yodel. And maybe Unhappy Nate will join us, who knows. But
And I'm waiting for the potato bill to go away because that's where I traditionally stand up. I wait for the potatoes to go away.
Potatoes.
And I turn them into French fries.
Well, we have a lot of metal.
Yes, we do.
Ingots.
I added like 2 or 3 days worth of doing standard run.
Wow.
Without the drill, on top of your 2 or 3 days of doing the drills.
Mm-hmm.
We have a plethora of metal.
That's for sure.
Whoa. Wow, that's the first time in a long time I ever had any laggy moments there.
Did you get a stutter?
Yeah, it was like hardcore physical, like standing trying to move forward, and then it was like something will update somewhere. Oop, hello, Dinah. Oof, I didn't want to pick you up. I accidentally picked up the young baby. I just wanted to access its inventory.
I think I'm gonna have a beer in game.
I think I will too, and probably that if there's enough. But more can be made if there isn't as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Friday, so we can.
Friday. Let's see. Well, there's exactly 2 beers worth of beer left.
Excellent. timing on stepping out of the bedroom there.
Just put some more narcs in one of them and make some more beer.
Yeah, Nate will probably want to join in on a beverage.
Oh, I should take the creatures out of stasis.
A jar so I can collect the brew. Creatures out of stasis. Which creatures?
The babies.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you were raising some young kin folk there.
Mm-hmm.
So should I wait to drink?
Just wait a minute. We'll do it together.
Okay. So
Have
I will
a toast.
just grab that, and
okay.
then I will just place it in the inventory and wait.
Let's see. Reaper is not okay. That one out. Juvenile Reaper cometh, and juvenile death metal.
Death metal.
Yep, both of who need meat in their inventory.
That we can definitely do. You can grab some from the nanny if she's still got some, or can grab some from downstairs here.
Grab some already.
Okay. I will take care of our other kin folk down here that usually likes to eat poop. I got lucky when stepping out of the bedroom. The two, what are these things? What are you? Ankylosaurus. The two Ankylosaurus just had pooed. So opportune to get two mediums, no waiting. Kind of like the ultimate moment when you walk into McDonald's, there's no line, and like 2 seconds later you have your food and you're already at your table, and then the place gets packed, and it's like, oh well, hey, perfect timing for me.
Right.
Bad timing for everybody else, though. Oh, this earthquake, I can barely move. Okay, where'd the dung beetle hide out at? Oh, dung beetle's getting set to get itself stuck behind there. Oh, right? When you hit double F, you're supposed to fly. There you go. Why wouldn't it?
Who knows?
Because something was interfering with me being able to throw it. I think it was probably too close to one of these other creatures or something, maybe. Was about to get itself stuck behind the bookshelves.
All right. I'm ready to drink. Here's to the earthquake being over. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray.
Okay, inventory.
3, 2, 1. Drink. Bubbly.
Very bubbly. Very nice and bubbly. Now it's like 3, 2, sip.
Yep. I like how it actually materializes bubbles around your head.
Yeah, I think it's a real cool digital effect. And it changes the view a little bit. Adds a little bit of a blur. Changes it to kind of the color that if you were like looking through a clear beer glass or beer mug.
Something like that. Yeah, through the beer.
Look like you're looking through the bottle or can. or not can, but glass, because you can't look through a can. Unless, of course, Star Trek is actually correct with their a theory of transparent aluminum.
Oh, yes.
Now, if that is
Hello,
actually...
computer.
Why
Hello,
don't you just use
computer.
the keyboard? Oh, keyboard, how quaint. And he starts to crack
Yep.
his knuckles, and
Knuckles,
then he
yep.
starts typing the code in, and he types it in so quickly that it's like, how the hell, what? And then he's like, he hits enter, and it brings up transparent aluminum code.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, wow. And the dude reads it, and he's like, oh, how much do you think this would be worth to you? Or should I just punch up clear?
Yep. Should have just deleted it, yep.
Yep. Manages to get them to produce the stuff and, well, creates a whole new tech out of it. In which I honestly believe that TV technology, uniquely enough, may be one of the core secrets that will allow us to eventually have materials like that, because there are 100% transparent TV monitors and other displays, which
Mm-hmm.
is like weird in how they're actually able to actually do that. It's freaky, and they are totally clear. You don't see any wires or anything. You just have a clear panel that literally becomes an entire display for the
Yeah.
entire surface of the display. And they're saying that that could be something where you could have like windows that are your television and things like that, and so on. And well, and the ability to have windows that you can immediately tell to turn opaque or clear as needed. So yeah, the future of tech is going to be wow, for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
It already is a little bit. It's only getting better all the time. Because like back in the day, there were kind of like small handheld consoles that could do PC gaming. But now the most powerful one, of course, is now available that we all are in awareness of the Steam Deck and its capabilities and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, a PC gaming in a handheld format with the highest quality 4K and 8K gameplay capabilities. It's like,
I think the screen's only 720p.
yeah, 720 to 1080, I think at most. But the capabilities, the power of it, from what I think even Langstech said, is the overall power potential for it is within the 2 to 4K range for sure, with potential 8K versions in the future as tech improves.
Mm-hmm.
I think our beetle is stuck in across the room. We're here for fun. I throw dung beetles around.
Yeah.
That's better than throwing them huge ass caper thingies that people do in like Ireland or whatnot. But yeah, that's like ancient kind of lore battle type stuff, I think. Also, Norse type characters will do that too. Those great big, like, tree trunk thingies that they like literally throw around. Or whatever they call them. I call it a caper. I don't call it a caper. You'd have to look it up, probably, unless you're like, or were like into certain ancient Britain, Norse mythology and things like that.
Right.
They do a competition, lumberjack type thing. It's a old world lumberjack, but also had military purposes, because hell, if you threw one of those big things and you managed to hit enemy troops coming at you with it, Well, you were a sudden hero, being able to throw a tree at people.
Oh yeah. Trunk. I did some of that Scottish games in high school. I went to a Scottish high school,
Oh,
and we did some of the games where you throw a trunk,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
rocks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it goes back, like I was saying, to those ancient days of the ancient lumberjacks, and even military purposes and operations could be done with it because, like I said, if you're on a battlefield and you throw a tree at like 50 people and you manage to take out 25, you're a freaking hero.
Yep.
Amazing how simple things a log can turn the tide of battle, too. Jammed into the gears of a freaking tank. Things not. See, that's the biggest thing about tank technology. What's the simplest and easiest way to stop it? The treads.
The track, yep.
If you're able to get the tracks to misalign, it's going to take them hours to get that back in track or on track. And it takes a lot to get those things to misalign, but if you hit them just right, boom, there you go. You got a dead column of tank, because the one in front, well, how do you remove a tank but with another tank? So yeah, while the other tank's trying to move the other tank, well, guess what? Take that one out, you have a definite roadblock.
Yep. That's for sure. It's nighttime now. And it's a 50-50.
50-50 day.
Mm-hmm.
Foods and other meats and stuff. Let's see, fish. Oh, excellent. 2 nice big size stacks for the split half. That one screwed up in its splits. There, 25, 23 back.
Wow, it's dark.
It can get super dark in this game.
Yeah.
Especially in those lower levels, like in the red zone, for example. Unless you're right next to one of those big areas that has all the pink going on, it can get downright dark. Which is where you pull out the light pit, and then of course all the flying things will start coming after you.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we're like flies to the flame, or moths to the flame.
Right.
Yeah. And they'll literally start bubble piling on you.
Hello.
Hello, Nate.
Hello.
I've been watching your streams lately, Jack. What's the game called again that you've been playing?
Metro Exodus.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. I don't know the storylines. I just see you going around killing things. So.
Yeah, the storyline for that is pretty much straightforward. Try and get from one point to another with this train and a group of people, and try and survive.
Post-apocalyptica.
And
post-nuclear war.
Eastern Europe and Russia. Yeah, Eastern Europe and Russia for it. Because I know the origins that started in Ukraine with Chernobyl.
If you want the storyline, the first episode is up on YouTube. So you'll be able to see the whole. The second episode is delayed because of a copyright issue. I think. Let me double check that I'm speaking truth.
It started in the Ukraine over near Chernobyl. I could be mistaken though. Maybe it all started.
First episode is live. Second one keeps getting I was supposed to be muting YouTube is supposed to mute the song, but they're not muting it and whatever, and so it's been being processed.
Gotcha.
So it's not gonna be live for a little while.
Yeah, maybe I'm confusing Metro with another game, because I think
there's
Metro.
Stalker.
Yeah, Stalker, Stalker, the Shadow of Chernobyl, and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I think it kind of interconnects in a way with the storyline of
the Metro. Yeah, I'm not sure. I own the Stalker games, but I haven't played them yet. I own them on GOG.
Yeah, I own them too, as well as the Metro games. But I think Metro starts in the Moscow.
Yeah, it's in the Moscow Metro
subway system.
Subway, yeah.
The Metro, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been playing a lot of Rust recently.
Have you?
Yeah, I wanted to get some practice because we were talking about moving there once we finish. And actually today was a really good day for me on Rust.
That's really good. To actually have a good day in that game is actually a good day for sure.
Yeah, I was
so hardcore.
At the start of today, I was wielding a crossbow and a nail gun. At the end of today, I had AK-47s, full Metal Gear sets.
Nice.
Nice.
Basically, what it was when I got on at the start of today, half my base was raided. They didn't get all the way through, luckily. So
that's
all my loot was still good, but half my base was raided. So and then I learned that I had 2 new neighbors, a water base and a huge complex. Like it was 2 stories, like super big.
Sounds like someone who's either really fast at what they do in the game, or they had a little tribe of their own to help them, sort of thing.
But I ended up actually raiding both. The first one I tried to just get slightly into the complex to see if I could get any loot. And turns out that they hadn't actually finished building and they logged off. They only placed down 3 doors when they had slots for like 12 doors.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah.
So making a mega
I was able to get I was able to actually claim the base, and now that's my new base.
Oh, wow.
My plan for today was to build a new base, but somebody built it for me, so.
Yep.
And my new base also came kitted out with boxes of guns, AKs.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. Nice. Yeah. I was like, well, I've finished the game. No, but I now have the best loot. I just don't know how to use it.
Right.
You'll just have to practice with it and figure out what.
I'm not good with an AK. There is one single scientist in AI that was nearby my base just patrolling, and it took me like a full mag to just try to.
Oh wow!
It only takes like 3 bullets to kill him,
but you couldn't hit him.
I couldn't hit him because the recoil on the guns is also realistic, so it's super hard to aim.
Is there projectile accurate projectile motion, or is it laser?
I think it's accurate projectile motion.
Okay. Oh, well, hello. I just fell off.
You'll have to get used to how the spray works with the gun. But
yeah.
Once you get used to it, you'll know how you should move, because it will either be up and down or side to side. Now, if you get one that does kind of a weird left-right or right-left sort of angling, that'll definitely take practice to get used to. But it also depends on the physics of the game and, like I was saying, the rules. Just learn how the gun fires. If you have to just shoot at a wall, look where the spread goes, learn how to control your spray by moving the opposite direction to kind of like.
Yeah, unfortunately, Vaughn, I don't want to waste bullets, because just like Ark, you have to make all your own bullets.
Yeah.
So that's why you definitely practice when you know no one else is around that's going to screw you up. And of course, only after you get like an excess of bullets and you need to like just unload a teeny bit, and then practice on a wall. or something to learn the spray pattern. Or just pay very close attention. Pay attention to what the spray pattern is on the chest of an enemy.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is to actually craft more stuff, you have to know it. So you have to learn all of the stuff. And if you have an item, then you can just research it off of the item. You don't have to go down the tech tree. But unfortunately, it all costs scrap. And when I raided them, for some reason they had 0 scrap, not a single piece.
Probably because they were doing learning themselves and using it for that, and that's probably where you caught them, was them at the max of where they made it to or something, maybe.
Well, the thing is, they had reinforced doors, which are the final thing on the tech tree. So what I'm figuring is, I'm figuring that they hid it somewhere in a stash.
That is possible, especially since you hid yours
That's what
like
I've done with
underground
all of
somewhere.
their good loot. I've hidden it all away because I have a feeling that
they'll be back.
maybe, I don't know. I'm definitely a retarget for them if they're coming back.
Because I know I've had those premonitions before, like here in Ark, where I was like, I predict that something's going to come and attack our base, and lo and behold, like next stream, our base was being attacked by something or whatnot, and I was like, well, I could have prevented that because I foreshadowed it, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, just terrible, terrible, Vaughn. How could you do such thing?
Because I was just like, you know, only thinking, and then it's like, oh no, when the thought actually comes true, it's like, oh, why didn't I do something then?
Right.
Yeah, the thing is, there's only 2 people in the base, but I'm really hoping that they're not part of a bigger group, because for 2 people, if that was their entry wipe, they must have had a really good wipe, because they had, like, a row of rockets.
Oh, wow.
Which are super hard to get.
Oh, wow.
At least for 2 people. Because, let me just think about that. That's probably with the amount of explosives they had, that was like 2 boxes full of gunpowder.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Not gunpowder, but sulfur.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I heard that is kind of like the polymer of here.
Hard to
Sulfur
get.
is like you're hard to get, and everyone wants it, and it's like the one thing that everyone protects with their life.
Well, that's the boom. That's how you raid people.
That's your boomstick. This is
You
my
need,
boomstick.
Yeah, you make gunpowder with charcoal and sulfur. Charcoal's pretty easy to get because it's just cooked wood, so
Nate probably doesn't
easy to
recognize
get. But
the reference.
the sulfur is what
Sulfur,
everybody's
you have
really
to
after.
find deposits of it, and then once you have it, you have to get it to a safe, secure location before someone finds it on you, because if they find it on you, they get it all.
Yeah. But then, yeah, it's... everything's expensive in gunpowder, except for bullets. Bullets are pretty reasonable, but everything else is quite expensive. To even raid the base, I'd like to say, like, half a box of charcoal and like a row of sulfur for just 3 doors. You need that much. So imagine a base with like 20 doors.
Right.
To get to loot.
Reinforced doors that you were going through. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going through reinforced. The thing is, like I was saying, I don't know why they didn't place them down. The reinforced doors were just in a box.
That's weird. It's like they were asking for.
They were asking to get raided. If they have reinforced doors in storage and they weren't using it, that's their own fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that would have been my front door for sure. If any of the doors would have been reinforced, it would definitely be the front one. And guaranteed any other door, if I had any other doors left that were reinforced, I'd put them up. I wouldn't.
No, you put the reinforced doors as far back into your base as you can, because you want to protect the main loot. You don't want to protect
Okay.
just the front door. Because if they raided through like a wall or something, then they'd still have to go through the reinforced instead of a sheet.
Okay. And if you surround it in reinforced doors, if the doors are stronger than the walls, then yeah, you've got.
No, the walls are always stronger than doors.
Walls are stronger. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you
Thinking
had
like
a
the
reinforced
possibility,
door
like
versus like a wood wall, then it'd be
Yeah.
stronger. But reinforced door versus reinforced wall
yeah,
wall is
wood
stronger.
wall versus stone wall. The wood wall is gonna be a little bit weaker.
Yeah, a lot weaker, but yeah.
And then
And
stone versus metal. The metal's definitely gonna be. You're gonna have to have a drill in order to cut holes through. And
yeah, the wood wall and just all wood stuff in general is susceptible to flame raids with a flamethrower, which is the problem.
oh,
Yeah.
so someone would go to your base and
That's
burn your walls down.
that's how my base got half raided, was because half my doors were wood and half were sheet. So they raided through all the wood part, but they couldn't get through the sheet. Which is why I was so confused, because if it was those guys that I raided, they had rockets and satchel and C4.
Probably somebody
They could have gone
else.
through the sheet. Yeah, that's my thought. I mean, there was another base. There was like a water base as well, but I did raid that one as well, but I was really dumb. Apparently, I don't know if it had already been raided or something, but if I had just swam around the base because it was in the water, I would see that one of the sides was already open. So I wasted 2 rockets and 8 satchels for nothing. So that was really annoying. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in you, Nate. Wasting 2 rockets.
It was actually quite a bit of waste, right? Wasting 2 rockets was like, yeah. Because I don't even know how to make a rocket.
Oh, yeah.
I actually that's my problem with the bullets too. I don't know how to make the bullets. I can't make more right now.
Oh, you gotta research. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have enough scrap to research how to make the bullet, much less making
the rockets.
more.
Yeah.
And rocket, of course, is as always a more advanced item that requires stuff more than just the explosive, because you have to have your propellant as well as the material to case it safely.
And the nozzle, rocket nozzle.
Yeah, to craft a rocket, I think it's a metal pipe, a bunch of explosives, and I think that's actually it. I don't think they made that one pretty simple, but yeah.
I'll be right back. It'll be quick.
All right.
Yeah, satchel charges are nice though, because all they are is cloth, rope, and gunpowder. So it's just like a bag of gunpowder that you blow up. Yeah, they're not very they're the worst explosive that you can get, but they do damage, so.
That's the important part.
What's the
But
worst
they're also
explosive?
the satchel charges, which is what I've been using. That's what I used to rate them, because they're just made of rope, cloth, and gunpowder.
I used to use those a lot when I used to play Half-Life, the original Half-Life.
Satchel
Because what you
charges?
could do, the satchel charges with the original game when it first came out, you could actually take those and turn those into a solid wall that no one could get through. And if you're the one with the detonator, you're completely safe, and you could like literally ensconce yourself in a safe location that they cannot get to, that you can literally camp from.
Huh.
Yeah.
But in more recent updates of way back in the day updates, but as the things progressed, they started preventing that, and it was no longer a solid entity. It was something you just walk through. So they took that feature away to prevent people from exploiting that.
Mm-hmm.
The nice exploit that you could do, which was actually a challenge that some people would do deliberately, is if you collected the satchels and then dropped the pack to control them, and then you go out and get another group of satchels, place those satchels, grab both packs, and then suddenly, instead of just controlling 5 satchels, you're controlling 10 satchels, and you can like go up exponentially with the number as far as you wanted to. But if you went too far, say 150 to 200 or 300 satchels, and you all detonate them at the same time, it could crash a server from too much entity sprites going off at the same time.
Well, I'll bet that was exploited too. Somebody would get pissed off at the server,
and then they would crash the server by tossing out tons of the satchels and causing it to crash. Forcing everyone on board to have to reboot, essentially.
Yep. Denial of service.
Yep. That's pretty much what that would be. A nice little DOS attack, essentially. Yep. Just with satchels in-game.
Yep.
It's like, you won't be able to get in for 15 minutes while the server resets, jerks. Set off all the satchels, and then they would go off and play on another server and do the same thing all over again.
What are we gonna do tonight? Do you wanna try the boss
tonight?
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah,
we got Vaughn's taking care of the metal ingots issue, so
yeah, we are getting pretty close to boss. We should do it.
Metal collector as well.
We should do it this weekend, I think, the boss.
This weekend?
Sometime this weekend. Yeah. We should get the final prep done. Whatnot.
During the week, on like 3 or 4 of the different days, I collected wood, stone, and metal, along with doing the feeding, to ensure that we had plenty of supplies for everything that we possibly needed the supplies for.
Right.
I know for building, for armor, upgrades, other things like that we were working on or doing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make some more gunpowder.
Yeah, mine's not totally upgraded, but my armor's definitely the most upgraded that it's ever been.
Yeah, you should get used to max spawn. Here, I'll make some armor modules. Oh, we don't have any polymer, which is what we need. Alright, well, I will be back.
Yeah, we've got 18 polymer in here, which is definitely not enough to produce anything.
Yeah, it's not even enough to do one, to repair so...
the chainsaw, because I think the chainsaw requires 19 polymer in order to do a repair. So if you have a broken chainsaw, you might have to wait a minute. Well, Nate goes out and does his magic.
Yeah, if either of you want to join me on Rust, I can give you the server name and whatnot. But yeah. And I could just like bag you guys in or something, I don't know. Probably be easiest. Hardest part of that would be changing all the locks, because currently I have them all on key locks. I'd have to change them all to code locks.
Right.
And then give you guys the code. Which isn't actually too bad. It's just, yeah. Hey, Grabby. How you doing?
Say hello to my little friend, Krabby.
The crossbow.
Your ultimate enemy.
That was simple. You down. I had the help of 2 of the rock guys and an iguanodon helping me, so that was pretty nice of them.
The insects in this map are pretty docile until they try and eat something that you've killed and you're harvesting, and then they get all pissy when you harvest it.
Yep. because then they'll start going after you because they're like, oh,
that was ours.
Food. So then they'll start eating you.
Yeah. We didn't kill it, but we were gonna eat it, so it's your fault that we didn't get any food. So.
1 second, I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Random. Silly comments.
Yep. But always good. Silly comments are the food of life.
Are they?
Well, the spice of life. It's kind of like Monty Python. If it wouldn't be for weird random comments that would suddenly like come out of Jean Cleese's mouth sometimes, they probably would have had a flubbed joke here and there. Then they would have wondered why no one's laughing.
Right.
That's because the left track sign was somehow the light bulb was burned out. So and John Cleese come out, open it up, pull out the bulb, look at it like Mr. Bean, put it back in, tell him turn it on, and it's like it works. And it's like, what? It's the pound of magic. And a random odd story for no reason at all.
All right. Yep. That works. Random odd story.
Yep. Random odd story for fun. Here we see J. Arthur Spindler of 13 The Crescent, Mockingbird Lane. However, you cannot see him. Mr. Spindler, would you please stand up? His first mistake, standing up.
Oh, let me do something before I forget in Discord. Let's see. Oh, Dragonheart's back.
Woohoo! He's been doing some mega building.
Oops, I didn't mean to hit you. Mega death metal.
In his Satisfactory world that he's got going.
He's like the king of Satisfactory in that group.
Literally, he's definitely in the top tier of players in that game for sure. I think that's one of the reasons why he has a huge following and one that's actually growing when it comes to that game, because I'm like Satisfactory and he's got 26 people watching. Wow!
Well, you know.
But it's understandable. It is a pretty darn good game.
Yeah, anybody who appreciates the game and would appreciate his work.
Definitely. And he's got some good tips and tricks too. There are certain things that it's like would be a complete waste, for example, to waste a hard drive on for your research. So you use the hard drive on the other more important things, and you get yourself advanced faster with higher quality stuff. And before you know
he knows it in and out, and that's the thing. Is that's what you know.
And you go from like a standard conveyor belt to a Mark IV and stuff like that in like minutes. Well, probably not minutes, but at least within several days of play, probably.
Well, I upped my my streaming bit rate to 6,500.
Oh, not bad.
And Twitch has not complained.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
I'm thinking about pushing it to 7,000 soon. See if they complain about that.
They probably won't. I don't see why they would, to be honest. Because I think it's still within limits.
Yeah, the 6,000 is only recommended. I think the max is like 10.
Ah, that would make sense.
And I up my frame rate to 60 frames per second. I managed to tweak my settings so that I can stream at 60 and record at 60 4K.
And that's exactly what people want.
Yep.
They want to be able to see the quality. And being able to maintain the 60, which is where I have my Far Cry 6 game set, for example. I have it set in a perfect 60, and I locked it there because according to the menu, it says this is excellent for maintaining a high-quality game experience without loss and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm
What res are you streaming at? I forget. 720? Or 1080?
The usual max that Twitch kind of likes, which is the 1080p.
Yeah.
I think you can stretch that to the 2K range.
Yeah, you can, but there's not enough bandwidth.
Yeah, it definitely works best with the 1080p.
Yeah, I actually stream at 960p, which is just under 1080 on the scaling. That way I get a bit less compression, you know?
Less compression definitely improves the speed and performance.
The quality of the stream. I think less blocking is preferable to more pixels.
Yes, I agree. Because it's those blocky streams that you're watching and trying to enjoy, and then everything suddenly turns into this digital blockiness, and you're like, what the fuck?
It turns into Minecraft.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're watching Minecraft or want to play Minecraft, that's a different thing. But if you're like, playing a game like this, where things have rounded and soft edges, and you know, you can have an oval, things of that sort, or these circular style.
Hello, welcome back.
And you can kind of do that in Minecraft now, because there are special mods that will allow you to do that sort of thing, where you can like have rounded trees and things. But it's only the trees that are rounded. For example, in that particular mod, you'd have to get other mods to make other things rounded. Like the pumpkins, for example. It's just so confusing and scary looking when you look at a completely perfectly square pumpkin, and then a rabbit walks up to you and it's a completely perfect square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna have to end it early today though, because the heat wave has hit where I live.
Oh damn!
So my computer is not having a great time.
Yeah, I bet.
And modern computers, even for lower tier computers, are still pretty much.
And I bet you're not having a nice time with a heater in your room.
No, I am not. Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't have AC directly in his room. And
and my room just so happens to be the hottest room in our house. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I know how that feels, because that's like my bedroom is the hottest room in this building, because I get the morning sun as it's rising, and it aims right at this room up until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then it starts angling off. But it's not until then, but I like around 11 a.m. my room feels like it's an oven.
I know how you can fix it. You can just drink from your tech
drink from my tech mug.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't have one of those in
I bought it from LPTstore.com.
Shucks.
Minus Tech can now pay me. They'd be like, oh, thank you for the free plug, but you're not getting any pay. Oh, thank you, Linus. I love you too.
I don't really know what to do tonight either, so I'm not thinking of staying on too long. Plus my girl wants to see me, so tonight after stream.
I think I might just make some bullets and then head out.
Okay.
There's also armor upgrades for you guys in the augmentation station.
I think my armor's maxed out.
So I think it would be me that would have to max my armor out for the armor portion.
Jack, what's your armor at?
My armor's at 1300.
Yeah, that's the max. Is it all at 1300?
It's all at 13.
Okay, then yeah. Well, it's your go. I'll just...
Oh my god, there's a naked man!
Oh, well, it sounds like I'll just sit
Yeah.
here and wait for the expert clicker.
Well, we certainly have enough gunpowder.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Never enough gunpowder.
I burned some more wood. I collected and burnt some more wood the last time before logging off.
Yeah, it sounds like
That's
we're
good.
upgraded. Yep. The
Yeah,
shoes
you're
are
all
ready.
good, Bon. I'm just doing the saddles now with the excess.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them all above 200, at least.
And his pants. My character is now OP.
Welcome to the club.
Woohoo! Definitely an awesome club to be. The OP armor carriers of the world.
Unite.
Dead.
Together we form Voltron.
In the form of a T. Voltron T posing.
Yep.
Sword falls on ground. Accidentally kills a bystander. They're like
Bernie Sanders. No, I'm kidding.
Accidentally kills Bernie Sanders. I've come here to ask for your
Splat.
The memes that he's in. I'm here to ask for your crunch.
Crunch. Yep. With him in the gloves, the winter gloves and stuff.
The winter gloves and his arms crossed.
Yep.
I'm here to ask for your vote once again.
Splat.
Yep. I definitely wanted him to be president, but he backed out. I think he would have made a good president, but
I don't know. He's a little far left for me.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly right anymore, but he's still a little far left.
Yeah, I feel like you want someone in the middle.
Yeah, I'm a moderate now.
But at the same time, he himself chose to back out, and which means he felt he was good for the position, but he realized it just might be a little too overwhelming. And I would definitely say so. Being a world leader like that, you go from like age 35
to 55
to,
in
like,
4 years.
55 before you like get out of the office and you go in with perfectly brown hair, for example, and you come out with gray hair.
Yeah.
Because you're suddenly in the know of everything, and once you know everything, it's kind of like, oh, why the hell did I want? You know?
Yeah. Well, we're making more beer.
Woohoo! That means I need to go get a flask.
No, there's no more. There's no not available, but
Not available, but more's being made.
yes.
So, well, I'll just leave my flask in the locker then until it's needed. I have the IRL stuff to keep me company until then. I had to buy more bug stuff today, which I was hoping I would not have to, but my neighbors have a tendency to decide to leave all the windows and doors in the building open all the time with no screens in them, so it just makes it too easy for any of the bugs to get in.
Oh, jeez. That's no good.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
I
did actually
sealed off, they still manage to get in every now and then.
Yeah. Today I managed to get a really bad bug bite as well, so on the
What
topic
fun.
of bugs, there you go.
Yeah,
What
last
fun.
night I was
Yes, very,
Something, and
very
somehow
fun.
right where my wrist rests, where I'm doing the mouse, I got bit by something on the arm.
I haven't been really bit by a bug since I went to Yellowstone and got eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah. You'll definitely want to make sure to have some mosquito repellent this year.
Well, we
when you
won't
go
be
here.
going to Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing you're not going to Yellowstone right now because it's flooding.
Well, the infrastructure
That
isn't
too.
the infrastructure isn't repaired, and the campsite that we're going to stay at is closed until at least 2 days before we leave. So I've
You wouldn't be able
canceled.
to actually go to that.
I canceled our reservations because they could extend it again, and then we'd be stuck without anywhere to stay. So
And there's
we're
like a
gonna go to
town hall.
Disneyland and then the Grand Canyon.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Definitely a good option for sure.
Yeah.
I should have taken the chance to go to Disneyland.
Burn in the Californian sun.
Yeah, the new Star Wars section at Disneyland is pretty good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm eager to
Although
ride
it
the
does-
Matterhorn again. I haven't ridden the Matterhorn since I was like 10. And
I haven't actually ridden the Matterhorn yet, and I really want to, which is kind of annoying. But yeah.
yeah, they only have it in the LA one. They don't have it in Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have it in the Orlando one.
Yep.
So if you go to the Florida one, you miss out on some of the rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Florida one has
More.
way more.
Yeah, the Florida one's bigger by far.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. That's where you actually have to ride the maglev into the park from the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And/or one of their other mass transit systems that they have there. But the most popular one, of course, is the maglev.
monorail. Yeah.
Yep. The monorail maglev thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 3 hours till Mega Death Metal is ready for care. Probably want to cuddle.
I have a friend on Twitter that would probably be interested in that because he's always into the metal stuff and like posting and announcing metal band things of even metal bands that I never even heard of.
Nate's using the tech replicator. Ooh,
The
pretty.
Okay, what's he tech replicating?
I don't know.
Bullets.
He's making bullets. Oh.
Probably making mass bullets.
Oh wow, you're making a lot of them fast.
Yeah, that's why I'm using the replicator.
Hello, Jasmine. How are you over here? Okay, foods, berries. I might need to go get berries. Let's check the berry amount, because I know yesterday I didn't have to go berry hunting, but today I think I might have to go berry hunting. Let's remove them all. Just, yeah, we're gonna need to get berries. Today is a berry collecting day. It's a new holiday in Ark, Baryonyx Day. What do you do on Baryonyx Day? Well, you run away from Baryonyx so they don't eat your face. Kind of like the running of the
We
pole.
didn't actually get any Baryonyx, which is interesting.
Yeah, we haven't came to Baryonyx on this map.
There's a tech canteen in there, Nate.
Yeah, I know that. I just made that.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the first purpose why I was doing this. And then I was doing the bullets as a side because you craft them really quick.
Super fast.
And also use up the tech stuff so it doesn't go to waste and make something useful. So it's a double win.
Alright, what else do we need to craft? No, I'd say we're good. Actually, let's do that. Oh, I can't. Should be able to.
burp.
Burp?
You should be able to burp. Unless I turn you into a pigeon, and then you will no longer have the ability to burp. Would you like some Pepto-Bismol? No, no, no!
It's same goes with seagulls. It's literally illegal in this state to throw Pepto-Bismol to the birds.
Yep, because it will literally cause them to explode.
Yep. The same goes with rats. Rats can't burp. Mice and rats can't burp.
Either. I never knew that.
Yeah, so you can to kill them, you can use carbonated sugar water like Coke or something.
Oh wow!
Put it out in a dish, and they literally die because their stomach explodes.
They drink the stuff and run away when they hear you coming, and they hide out and they explode in the wall.
Yep, and then they rot and they stink, and it's just so great.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon.
Yeah, I'd much prefer traps myself.
Yeah, I'd rather trap and do the and toss it in a bag and get it out to the dumpster. Yeah, definitely better that way than having dead corpses in the walls. Although insects, I don't mind if they die in the walls because they're so small they don't stink as bad unless there's like a billion of them. So roaches and ants be damned. You can all go kapoof in the wall and I won't care. Okay. Right. We did one of those things on the street where it's like, okay, we want to pass each other, but do we pass on the left or the right of each other?
Yep, and we both go the same way at the same time.
Yeah. Until one of us kind of does like you're doing and just stands there and lets the other one go by.
Alright, well, unfortunately, couldn't hang out with you guys for too long, but
no worries.
glad I was able to talk to you guys. Yeah, but yeah, I don't want my computer to blow up here, so
we do not want that. You're our gaming expert in so many ways, so yeah, we need you. So no blowing up the computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, take it easy, Nate.
Yeah, see you guys.
See ya.
He's our to-go-to guru for so much, and he's going to be, again, when it comes to advice for Rust and getting us started there.
Yeah, I've played a little bit, so I know a little bit, but yeah.
I know a little bit, but even the tutorial is so glitched and buggy that most of the time you go to do something and it tells you to do something that doesn't register that you've done it, even though you know you've done it, and you're like looking at the display saying, okay, what are you going to tell me to do next? And then 15 minutes later, it's like, oh, you created that, so now go do this. And it's like, oh, well, it's nice that you finally recognize that I did that like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, when I first started playing Rust, they didn't have a tutorial. Actually, they didn't have a tutorial the last time I played it.
Yep, it's pretty much just in-game text prompts.
So it's not even that.
More like kind of like a quick reference guide.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, okay, go collect this much, blah, 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 and then you'll be able to make this and that. And then you just make this and that, and then you go collect more of this and the other thing, and then you can make this other thing, and it's like, okay.
I'm going to kill that tech stegosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Because reasons.
And it's also good to have the extra tech materials. The metal, the oil, the tech powder, which can be turned into...
element, yep.
Element.
Circuit boards.
Yes, the circuit boards, definitely. Those also work for things like fridges and other tech material.
Plus, his presence has been bugging me for a while, so.
Yeah. They are kind of blinding sometimes with all that tech light going on.
Yep.
Or it's like, you're being too bright and I'm trying to sleep over here. kind of like this one thing in one city. They put up this huge lit up billboard that has this god awful massive bright light raptor. We have raptor. I report rehab raptor.
Where?
Being a douche and attacking things, and it's dead.
Okay.
It is dead. Stegosaurus has killed it.
Dead raptor. I repeat, we have a dead raptor.
Oops. I hit the wrong things. Oops.
Oh, you're out and about. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I killed the Stegosauruses that won the battle against the... That was an oof.
Oh.
But
well, harvest their hide.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't use the chainsaw. Oh, oof.
Oof, mega oof.
I used the sword, so it'll give a little bit of height, but not a lot. I was only after a single raptor, so I didn't think there'd be much from it. Oh, and there's a scorpion, and there's Ovis. Here, scorpion. Leave that there, Ovis, alone. One hit wonder on the scorpion. The Ovis is now thankful. It just gave me a high five. Thank you, buddy. High five.
And then you kill the Ovis for its mutton.
I could. The mutton fridge or whatnot, I think, is like filled with the stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Ovises are like a dime a dozen here in comparison to other maps where they'd be so spread apart and in such a small grouping. They spawn a lot more often here. And right across the shore to our base, too.
Yeah, they're really close.
Usually about 1 to 2 every other day practically shows up over here.
Oh, you can't eat while you're on a ladder. I just learned that.
Well, that's good to know.
What did I come up here for? There was a reason. I think there was a oh, I know. Refill my canteen. No, but if you're on the Discord, folks, and you're looking for a new monitor, or maybe you've got an AM4 socket motherboard and you want a new CPU, there's a couple of links for some eBay listings in the sale section.
So selling a monitor and a CPU.
Yes.
AM4, that's AMD, right?
Yeah. It's the Ryzen platform.
Ah, nice. Unfortunately, all my motherboards are Intel.
Yeah.
I could use a definitely decent priced 7700 for my Alienware. I have a 6700 for my CPU in there, and it can go up to a 7700 experimentally. At least that's what the owner's manual says.
Yeah, it can go up to the 70s. It can go to the 6th and 7th gen are interchangeable.
Yeah, the 6700 and the 7700, according to the Intel website, it says that the socket's compatible with it, but Dell Alienware says it's experimental in that, and they would give no support.
Oh, that's nice.
Or that if I had a tech problem with that, but it's just a simple install of a new chip and They say that depending on how the chip responds, you may or may not have to reinstall the OS. But they say since it's
you can't even go to Windows 11 and 7th gen.
No, you can't, which is why I was like, well, if I can't go up to Windows 11 on that machine with the 7700, which is the highest it would be, I would literally have to take it and turn it into a different computer by putting a new motherboard in it. And I would have to get a very special low form factor motherboard designed for a teeny tiny case, because of course the Alienware Area 51R3 is kind of like the size of a PS4.
Oh, it's a small form factor case. Okay.
Yeah, very small form factor case. So
you
it's
could
like
get a new case and then just change out. Say you could take the RAM. Probably it's DDR4, right?
Yeah, it would pretty much be the same RAM that I would be able to use.
And you could take the video card and all the storage drives out, and probably maybe the power supply unit.
For that particular unit, I would have to get a different power supply because that one is
that's
more
proprietary.
of a proprietary with a power block, a power brick, much like a laptop.
Oh yeah. You'd have to get a new PSU.
Yeah,
But
so
you could definitely rebuild it in a different case and make it shine again, if you wanted to, of course.
Yeah. But since, as stated, it can't go up to Windows 11 and that unless I like completely go to a whole new motherboard.
Yeah.
At least for that particular machine. So, but its livelihood is still capable up until 2025 when Windows has stated that.
Yeah, and you could switch it over to Linux by then for sure.
I could probably switch to Linux now if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
And have it be 100% Linux.
Yep.
Have that be the Linux machine. And it'd probably work even better.
Probably.
Than it does under Windows.
Is it your streaming PC?
My streaming PC is my new one.
Oh.
The other one used to be my streaming PC.
And what do you use it for now?
For now, it's pretty much just a Netflix viewer in the living room.
Oh, well, then yeah, you could definitely go to Linux. Easy.
Because I set it up in the living room to be an alternate place where I can sit in a different space instead of sitting in front of the computer. In here, I can sit in front of a computer at a greater distance and watch it.
Right.
But it's kind of what Dell and Alienware was after with the RE51R3, for that to be kind of a living room PC, because it would fit more into a console rack where you've got your consoles going on and stuff like that. As well as for anyone that has, like a tiny bedroom, or they live in a closet and they just don't have the space for one of these big floor-sitting behemoths. Which it should, even though it's a floor-sitting behemoth, it should be sitting on a desk.
Yeah, you can get a 7700K from Amazon for $425.
Yep.
Or
I was looking at that.
Let's see, eBay, they got listings as low as $50. Oh, that's a delidded one. I wouldn't grab that one.
Yeah, that'd probably be one of those it might work, it might not work cases.
Yeah. Not working. But there's listings for 7700Ks for less than $100 on eBay. So.
Oh wow! So if I did want to upgrade that to its potential max for the current motherboard,
and that would unlock overclocking with a K SKU.
In which I already do kind of have the 6700K, and it already does have the overclocking capability.
Okay. I didn't know you didn't say the K earlier, so I didn't know that.
Oh, I just said the 6700.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I already do kind of have the overclocking capability because of the 3.4, and it overclocks to 4.0 as needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I have auto overclock turned on according to the Alienware control panel.
Yeah.
Where you just click
only
on.
thing I'd be worried about is the fact that the BIOS, it's not officially supported by the.
Yeah. In fact, Dell hasn't updated the BIOS on that for a coon's age now.
But I
And
mean, you could get one where there's some. I'm sure there's some listings where they have a return policy.
but I wouldn't want to return it because it is my emergency backup platform gaming machine, because it's still powerful enough and capable enough to play all of the games that I'm currently playing, just slightly lower graphics.
Yeah, I just mean if you went to a 7700K, that's all.
Yeah, if I went up to the 7700, of course, no tech support for that, because Dell already said it was an experimental idea for them to even put one in the R51R3. Area 51R3. And then not too long ago, I actually learned that they're completely scrapping the small form factor version, and they're sticking with their larger Aurora design now.
Oh.
Yep. They decided to close the book on the small form factor.
I guess they weren't selling very well.
No, they weren't. People weren't buying, but they should have been, because I'm a person who can honestly say it was a decent little thing, and if you got the right one from the right store, oddly enough, Walmart, because the Walmart version, Walmart put together a better rig than Dell was selling on their website. So I bought my Alienware from Walmart, believe it or not.
Huh.
Because they had the higher quality version.
That's cool. My drink's empty, so I'm gonna go grab another one, but be right back. I am so happy I convinced the landlord to put a heat pump in my house.
Definitely awesome.
Yeah. Heating in the winter, cooling in the summer. It is glorious. And the electric bill is about constant.
Yeah, probably consistent pricing, because it just shifts whatever mode.
Yep.
And keeps your heating cooling at a nice even.
Yep, and it just sips electricity.
Yeah.
Sips it compared to the heaters that I was using, which in-wall electric resistive electric.
Yeah. Electric baseboard heating.
Yeah, it was. I'd spend so much in the winter, and I didn't have any cooling, so.
Yep, with those options, you definitely discuss with your landlord the right way to get a good quality mix.
Yep. And it
improves the value of the property for the landlord, so it's a win-win situation. It improves the quality of the property, and it also gives you a better, more affordable place to live.
Yep. I think on average, maybe I spend about the same amount, but now I get cooling.
Which that's definitely worth it then.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to average the winter bills out over the year, I'd probably spend about the same or a little less now.
Yeah.
And I don't have to suffer through the
portions where it gets unbearable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a night the other night where it didn't cool off until AMs.
Yep.
Which is highly unusual for where I live, but yeah.
Yeah, especially out there on the Pacific Coast.
This is 2 years in a row that we've had that issue, so.
Yeah, because Pacific Coast, you should have just this natural cooling that happens to come off of the ocean.
Yep.
But, the heat, it's even been doing the same thing here on the Great Lakes. There should be a natural cooling that happens from the Great Lakes, and then Erie is not a small lake. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's big as fuck.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
it's huge.
yeah, it creates its own weather patterns, and we'll end up with lake effect rains. We'll end up with lake effect snows and things like that. Whereas like a normal snow, you'd probably get like 6 inches. With lake effect, you'll end up with 18 inches
Oh wow.
instead of 6, for example. So yeah, we can have some severe rains and severe snows, but it usually helps keep things cooler. Not so much the past 2 years, like you were saying for your area as well. And then you pay attention to what's going on in the far west areas there with that lake over in Arizona, Utah, or whatnot. That Lake Mead.
Lake Mead, yeah.
The water levels in Lake Mead are at record level lows.
Yeah, because we're using too much of it, for starters.
Using too much of it, and not much is being replenished because the rains just aren't happening that normally would repopulate the lake with water.
Right.
Resupply the lake itself. And
not enough rainfall, too much usage, add up to not enough water.
And the fact of increased heat increases evaporation.
Yep.
You end up with the possibility of the rains, but guess what? It's all blowing towards the east, so we get it over here. So we're being rained on by water from there. Yeah. And with the mountains,
I think the most disturbing thing I know of is the fact that every drink of water you ever take is used.
Yeah, it's used, reused, and pre-used by nature and everything, and it's,
Yep. There is new water. There is new water that formed when you have fire.
Yes.
Anytime you have fire, you generate water is one of the byproducts of fire. Because all fire is chemistry, well, except for nuclear fire, but like chemical fire is.
Nuclear fire probably burns up water at a certain point.
Nuclear fire is different, but chemical fire is a reaction between hydrogen and oxygen, and one of the byproducts is always water. So even your cars are making gasoline-powered cars make water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of water is even made by the gas machines.
Yep. So there is some new water, but almost every single drop you ever drank in your life was used and reused more than once.
I personally don't have too much of a problem with that. Depending on where you live, there are certain places where it's oofville.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the new ads on TV for the people that lived on a certain military base between 50-something and 87? The government has basically
the water supply there was tainted.
Yep.
And now they're being sued by a class action lawsuit.
Well, their actual the latest I heard was a bill was actually passed to compensate the victims.
Okay, so I guess that was probably part of that class action suit or whatever that was going on.
I guess
as well.
I guess.
And/or it's just that, and I'm
the ad specifically mentioned a bill, so.
Yeah, and I guess all you have to do is just prove that you or family members were living on, near, or around the base at the time.
Yeah.
And you can get compensation for a particular situation. Yeah, you can get damage reparations, which that'll definitely help out a great many, because health bills and things like that can be quite expensive. Like I saw the pricing on my dental work today was like 200, 100, 300 something for filling, and that's only on 2 teeth. And I'm like, holy crap, if I had to pay that out of pocket, woohoo! Yeah. Thank God for insurance.
Yep. Thank God you got insurance too, because a lot of people can't afford it.
A lot of people can't afford it, or they choose not to,
or they're too rich to get
too rich to get the funding,
subsidized insurance, and too poor to pay for the real
actual bill because they've got tons of other bills on top of that bill. And
Yep.
Those would be like in my classification, those two kind of like fall through the cracks of the system.
I think they're called the working poor.
Yeah, the working poor. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a growing class.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because, for example, rents, most places are like mega skyrocketing.
Yep. Cost of living is going up because of inflation and other
inflation
factors.
like going out of control in some areas.
There's
Like,
predictions
for
of a
example,
housing market crash too. So
I hope that doesn't happen because a housing market crash would not be good.
no.
But like when I first moved to where I live right now, you could buy 2 bags of Lay's potato chips for $4.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be the decent normal size, not the big, huge family size, but the
The regular
size that
size,
would
yeah.
be like just below that, the regular person size that's got a good number of portions in it. You could get 2 of those for $4. Now there's 2 for $8. And I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn, that doubled. And it went up like
And then there's the hidden inflation where they make the product smaller but charge the same amount of money.
exactly. I've even noticed that, believe it or not, with ramen noodles or ramen noodles, depending
Ramen,
on how
yeah.
you pronounce it. The ramen or namen is also a pronunciation I've actually heard where instead of an R, it's an N. But, it's up to interpretation. I've actually noticed that the way the noodles used to be packed, when you would open it up, there'd be like a solid cube of noodles. Now there's a little notch.
Oh,
Very
really?
minuscule notch, about the size of a finger. Size of a finger's worth of noodles is suddenly almost always missing in every packet now.
Oh, jeez.
But it's still the same
Even
size
the poor
cube,
man's
same size
staples
package. But
are
there's that like missing portion of about a finger size.
Yep.
And they charge the same price that it used to be. In
Yep.
order to keep it the same price, they take out that little portion, and it's such a small portion too, because yeah.
It's like when they put a groove in a piece of soap and they call it a feature.
Exactly. They call it a feature or a contour for your comfort.
What it really is they're shaving the soap down.
Yep, shaving it down so that they can get away with that divot being taken out, and you're paying for the amount of that divot still.
Yep.
Yep. That's how corporations manage to sneak things through. And then you'll have special containers that will look like they are filled to the brim, but then you'll find this portion that kind of like bulges up in the bottom of a bottle, for example, that needlessly there.
I just hope we don't end up in a stagflation situation.
I hope we don't too.
Where we go into recession and having inflation.
To put brakes on whatever's going on.
Yeah.
But I think even they're confused as to exactly what to do because they believe they caused the problem to begin with doing the stimulus checks, which that is definitely not the reason why. There is definitely nowhere near enough money put into the system from the government doing that.
No, it's most likely a supply side issue, and that's the problem.
It's exactly a supply side issue because of the supply chain problems increasing costs and them trying to attempt to fill in the gaps so that they can get the supplies.
And all they can control is the demand side with interest. So they're trying to correct a supply chain
issue,
inflation, supply chain inflation with demand. Yep. So we are hit. Yeah, we're gonna have some trouble.
I even noticed in the Midwest. I have a friend on Twitter that's in the Midwest, Feral Wolf. He went to Walmart, what looked like Walmart, the entire freezer section empty, solidly empty. Every single freaking freezer, nothing in it, whatsoever. And I'm like, wow, is that part of the supply chain issue, or is there something bigger going on that we're not aware of?
There's been a shortage in distilled water for like
a
couple of years now, and nobody's talking about it.
I've noticed and heard that because even here, at times it'll like vary from month to month, but certain months it's like the water shelf will be practically empty. You might have like a pack of Dasante or something like that. But
I'm talking specifically distilled versus like mineral
yeah,
water and stuff.
distilled or the other waters. But yeah,
I need the distilled for medical reasons, and I can't, and it's like I had to buy this 5-gallon jug that had a spout on it for drinking, not like a proper thing, and I had to pay name brand prices recently because the shortage. There's no generic distilled water. It's all name brand.
And the generic is the same thing, just under a different name.
Yep,
And
and the
usually
generic is like $1 or less a gallon, and the name brand is like $2 a gallon.
Yep, because you're paying for the label on it.
Yep.
All for the sake of a few extra lettered words.
Yep.
And you're paying a few extra dollars for that when it doesn't even need to be.
And I have to pay it because I don't have a choice because there's no water.
Yeah, there's
no distilled water.
In other words, you'd have to distill it yourself, and
Yeah, I don't have a water distiller.
And the fact of the price and the maintenance, the power requirements to run something like that.
Yeah.
Water purification plant of your own would not be an easy thing to operate.
No.
Even governments complain about that freaking cost.
It's frustrating, but so I basically bought 10 gallons of name brand distilled water, and I've been filling up my 1-gallon jugs because it's easier to pour into my CPAP.
With the smaller ones. Yeah.
But
it's
just ridiculous, and like they talk about the toilet paper issue, but they never talk about distilled water.
And that's something that's actually more important because distilled water is very important for some folks because it is the only water that they can actually drink. If they drink any other water, it has like certain effects on them.
Really?
I've experienced that with friends that I had at summer camp, where it was the only kind of water that they could actually drink was distilled water. Any other water would cause them to break out hives.
Wow, they'd die in an apocalypse.
Yes, they would definitely, unfortunately, die in an apocalypse.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
Unfortunately, that's definitely what would happen because distillery services would definitely be an unfortunate thing that would probably fall off in an apocalypse situation. Unless you were in the ultimate good situation of being allowed into like the Vault network from the Fallout series or whatnot, because they would have their own pure water purifiers and distillers and stuff like that built into the vaults.
Yeah.
But other than that, you would be screwed if you had to go it on your own. You'd have to somehow get your ass in one of those vaults and keep it protected.
Yep. And there aren't any vaults, so...
In real life, unfortunately, that is true. And the only vaults that do exist are military or government owned or controlled.
Yeah, there's private bunkers, but yeah.
Yeah, complete batshit crazy nutballs that have their that have their coffins in the ground.
Mm.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. My beard just was like, okay, we're gonna make you cough. But I would liken to call them coffins. You know, those
personal bunkers.
Personal bunkers. That's pretty much just like a. You just pooped.
Yeah, I know.
Just like the cargo containers in the Far Cry series, and the one game that you'd sneak down into in order to get stashes, where you had the vault in there, where they were like
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, the Far Cry 5 cargo containers under the ground.
Yeah.
Where some folks had the extreme extra expense, where they had like 4 or 5 of those interconnected underground. Then you got the poor guys that only had 1.
Well, like my dad says, if you're gonna blow up the plane, put the bomb under my seat.
Yeah, because unfortunately, depending on the situation on board an aircraft, there's already a very strict set of guidelines and rules that you have to follow in order to keep the aircraft flying.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a bomb on board something like that is devastating to the point where they might not be able to control how that aircraft flies anymore.
Oh no, you're gonna tumble. You're gonna tumble to your death and burn up, and it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's not pretty. And like my dad says, I'd rather the
Yeah,
bomb was
rather
underneath
go
me.
out. Yeah, rather go out quick and instead of being the last face that hits the dirt as the plane plummets.
Right.
Because I envision and I'm scared of situations like that, but I'm like asphyxiated lately with aviation safety videos and this uh, man something pilot or whatever
Uh-huh.
on Facebook has really good educational tutorials on how to properly fly a plane, what the reasons are for how and why they do things,
Uh-huh.
and things like that. And it's entertaining, but also scary at the same time because if any one little thing goes out of whack on board one of those aircraft, a whole shitstorm can happen from it,
Oh yeah.
and it can
Oh yeah.
happen in seconds.
Yep.
Because if you think, oh, they can fix it super quick, no, they can't sometimes because you're flying at like 450 something miles per hour. And that's what your cruising speed or whatnot. And then you have landing speeds and takeoff speeds, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to like have flaps at certain positions and all sorts of things that have to come together to get you from the ground into the air safely, maintained, and then back
Back on
down
the
to the ground.
ground. Yeah.
And it's a plethora of things that can go wrong.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, any one of those little things goes wrong if you're not on top of it or paying attention to what's going on. And things can take minutes.
I almost
Sometimes even hours.
saw I saw what could have been a catastrophic accident the other day.
Oh wow.
I saw a guy blow through the red light at high speed.
Ooh, yeah, that could definitely, especially in reality, it's not like GTA whatsoever when
Yeah.
you like fly down the freeway and you race up the off ramp across a public street and down the on ramp the other
The
side.
guy
It's
could
not like that
have
alone.
T-boned somebody really hardcore and killed him.
Or he could have got T-boned.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
some major stuff could happen with
I
that.
mean,
So
I'm prone to go through a yellow, but
yeah, yellow is kind of
this was
yeah,
red before he even got to the intersection, and he just kept going, and it was like, holy
yeah.
shit.
If it's
You're
solid
trying to
red
kill
before
somebody,
you
dude.
get there, yeah. If it's solid red before you get there, stop. But if it's like yellow and you're like just starting through the intersection or you're halfway through,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
Because at that point you become the hazard if you stop.
Well,
So you have
there's the
this,
rule of if you can stop safely, you're supposed to
yeah.
stop. But
But
if you can't
if you
stop
can,
safely, you're supposed to continue. Yeah.
yes, exactly.
But
That's exactly
this guy was, I mean, I was next to him and I was able to stop safely. He could have stopped.
yeah.
He chose to blow through a red light and could have killed somebody. Whether it
Or
was
himself.
himself or yeah, somebody, whether it was himself or someone else,
Yeah.
or both.
And then you have visually impaired folks, for example, that
Mm-hmm.
could be at the side of the road. They're listening if there's like
For the
modernized
chirps.
crosswalks,
Yep. And,
and they're listening for the chirps of the crosswalk to know their crosswalk is safe for them to cross. They hear
mm-hmm.
it start chirping, bam.
Yep, here's comes the asshole in the pickup with oversized tires who can't bother to stop.
Exactly. Which that's bad
Why is it
news.
always an asshole in a pickup with oversized
Yeah,
tires?
why is a good question. Why is it always got to be one of those unique folks that has this awesome freaking pickup where they could definitely be really cool, but they end up being a jerk?
Yep.
Yeah. My mama raised me right. Well, your mama told you to run through a red light like that?
I think
I don't
not.
think so.
Yep.
I think she'd slap you aside the forehead if she knew you did that.
Right.
I know my mother would. Hell, I fell asleep in church. I got to switch my backside.
Well, I used to hate going to church with my mom because she would pinch me whenever I would wiggle or something.
Yeah, you wiggle or something, and they're like, "Oh, you got to wear your nice little church sweater there because you look so cute in it." And then, and my friends here are thinking I'm doing a great parent job, and you're like itching, so stop it. And they're slapping you, and it's like, oh, good God.
Yeah.
I have to deal with this boring stuff, and I'm in this itchy thing, and you're not letting me scratch.
Not even allowed to yawn.
Oh, gosh, no. Yeah, you yawn, and it's like, oh, you've just sinned against the Lord himself. And it's like, well, if God made us in his image, I'm sure he's up there in heaven yawning right now, too.
Yep.
Because no offense, but this pastor is definitely passing me out.
Right.
I've had situations like that. That's why if I had to go to a church of any church sort, but it's still within the Christian faith in a way, but non-denominational Christian, they're not as douchey, you know?
Yeah.
It's so much more comfortable. You don't feel like you're being watched under a telescope or microscope or however you put it. You just
I'm gonna
feel
cryo.
like
I'm gonna finish this conversation with you, but I'm gonna cryo the babies and get ready to log off.
Yep, no problem there. But that was the extent of my conversation with that particular conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I never liked going to church with my mom. I'd come home with bruised ribs and stuff.
Yeah, that's
from the pinching.
Definitely not a good situation to actually make one desire to be in that sort of situation or scenario.
And she wondered why I fought her when she tried to take me to the church where the Catholic school, where they beat you with a paddle.
Oh, yep. And certain ones back in the day, that was corporal punishment that was still allowed. And you could get hit across the backside with a ruler. Yep, I recall those days myself. Been doing Roman Catholic school and parochial school on Sundays. So
best way to make an atheist, send them to Catholic school.
Yep, I agree 100%. Because it pretty much practically turned me into one as well. I lean more towards the atheist than anything else anymore, just because, you know.
Yeah.
Experiencing all that, you're not supposed to experience bad. They're always like preaching good, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I still think there's good, right, and wrong, but
yes,
morality and stuff. But the whole, we're gonna go there again. Let's not say we did. Okay. Yeah.
I agree. That was probably Sprinkle Donut, who was like, "Oh wait, didn't we do this conversation the other day?"
He's actually absent today on my stream.
Oh, he's absent today?
Yeah.
He has not visited mine, and so far,
if he's here, he's lurking. So,
which there's nothing wrong with that. Lurkers are 100% welcome.
Yep, lurkers welcome.
I'd rather have you lurk safely and be calm during a nice stream of ours than be out doing funny stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, feel free to lurk all you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna log off. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Definitely welcome, and thank you for hanging out with me.
Yeah. See you later, Vaughn.
You have a good night.
Alright, Twitch and YouTube, it's been fun. At least I had a good time. Hope you did too. Anyways, until next time, have a good night. Bye.